Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Daily BizLink. Jane Cebrynski is back, and we're continuing the conversation on 10 Moments for Transformation, Part 3. In today's conversation, we'll be diving into the different ways you can continue to keep practicing. So, Jane, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. So let's start with a 10 moment for you.
Our Big 10 moment of the week. We just wrapped up photo and video shoots for the 2021 Resources for Growth publication. So excited to get that one out to the business community and further connect like-minded individuals with the key resources that they're looking for. So that's my Big 10 moment of the week.
Woo! And it was a 10 moment for me to get to participate in that also. And I think it's a great opportunity for us to have the conversation about practicing. You know, we introduced our tool, the 10 tool, the STAT tool, a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, the key there is first identifying, you know, what is a 10 moment for me? What does that look like and feel like? Because we're introducing some new thinking here. And then it's about, you know, going out and evaluating and looking at your life to draw some awareness to, you know, how am I living my life? What are my stats? And now there's an opportunity to just go out and practice it, because we know the more practice we give, then the more skilled we'll get at it. And we start to change the thinking in the brain to where, not that it'll become automatic, because it takes a lot of training around that, but that it does start to draw more awareness to how you're spending your time and your energy and all of that good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. I personally continue to practice this on a daily basis, and I can't say I'm perfect. It's not like every time I'm like, every moment is a 10 moment, but my sense of awareness has certainly been heightened.
Well, and that's the key, right? We know that throughout every day, there's not going to be, you know, it's not full of all 10s. I mean, there's stuff we don't want to do. We call that cardio. We know we've got to do it to get, you know, a higher performance. And the key around cardio is that, you know, it's anything that's a low stat. We've talked about that, because we know emotions are one of the biggest drains on energy. So just kind of being aware starts the process of thinking about, okay, what are my low stats and how can I possibly raise them? And what I love about what, you know, your photo shoot, and you and I had this conversation, is like, okay, how do you make it a 10 experience for everybody? And this is one of the ways people can start to practice, is to ask themselves the question, like, okay, how can I make this a 10 experience? And all of the little elements that you added into there, I could tell it was just like, okay, this is going to be such a great experience for everybody who participates, making it such a 10 moment, not just for yourself, but for the people who attended as well. And I was thinking about how, you know, a lot of people are going back to their offices. And as leaders, it's a great opportunity to say, okay, how can I make this a 10 moment for my returning staff? And using the senses. So that's a great way to practice, is to engage all of the senses to say, okay, how can I elevate this experience visually? How can I elevate it from an auditory standpoint, from a sensory standpoint? And that's just, you know, one example. So I thought I'd share a few today.
Perfect. Yeah, I think it's always been helpful for me to hear some examples, because having this new way of thinking, you're like, okay, it sounds good in theory, but what do I do next? So, and what a 10 moment looks like for me definitely looks different for you, Jane. And I know I found that to be true for a lot of my friends. So as we look to wrap up today's conversation, do you have a tip or strategy of the week that you would like to share with our audience?
Yeah, so first and foremost, just begin to notice everything around you. So it's been really fun to hear some of my clients and how they have practiced this, from going into the kitchen and statting up everything in the kitchen and discovering, you know what, I love my dishes, or I really don't like my dishes. And how can I elevate my stat around that? It could be, you know, it can be anything. So starting with your surroundings, ask yourself the question, what are my stats on all of the items that I surround myself with every single day? And you can even do this with places you like to eat. You can do it with people as well. So you can identify those people that are high stat for you that you want to surround yourself with all the time, and those that maybe are some cardio. So people you have to put up with that you don't maybe want to all the time, but you need to. And, you know, manage your energy around that so that they don't drain your energy and your emotions. And, you know, look at your closet. We've talked about that. Look at your clothing, look at everything around you, and just begin to ask yourself the question, what is my stat on this? And it's so fun to watch what we discover. That's where the fun really begins. And then the more practice we do, better we get at it.
Absolutely. Well, my 1 10 moment, what I elevated today was cleaning out my car. It took me 5 extra minutes, but I just had some random paper sitting in there. So that's just one of my winning strategies that I found to help set myself up for success.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
Jane, appreciate you taking the time and sharing some more winning strategies on 10 moments for transformation.
Thanks, Lindsay. And thanks for always making it a 10 moment for me to be with you today.